What's the deal? What's the deal, YouTube? It's your boy. Much love and much respect. Anyways, just enough of that trolling shit and just having fun. So this is get this thing going. This is kind of a okay. Let me see if I can remember this. This is okay. I'm a lot of you guys. If you follow my channel and follow my stuff, you know that I'm a house painter and an artist, and I consider myself one of the most one of like seriously. Even when I was messed up, I still took a lot of pride in my craft, and there is a lot of times that I did work when I was strung out, and I just always took pride in being. Even when I was working, it was like, okay, all these other guys, they drank beer and they got paid and they wouldn't come in the next day because they go out drinking. Well, I was like, well, listen, man, you got to pay me every day just so I can make it to work, type of thing. But I always took pride in, because I was the fuck up of the crew. I always was like, I was the guy that could go up the ladder. I did all the hard stuff. I did all the stuff, the jobs that nobody else wanted to do, and I got good at it. I got good at, see, fucking thing goes out. I got good at climbing ladders, learning how to set them, and like, and back then too, we didn't have the full safety thing like it is now. I mean, it's crazy. You go on just a regular site now, and I mean, 10 feet off the ground, you got to be tied off, and it's just nuts. But anyways, so I'm gonna tell you a little story about when I first started working painting. I was working for a thing, College Pro Painters, and it's basically like what it says, College Pro Painters. So they get a guy out of college and they teach him business and whatever, and he starts a painting company with a bunch of kids. And we were a bunch of kids, and the first crew I worked with was basically three of my friends from high school that we used to smoke weed with. One of them was my partner that I sold weed with, and the other two were like two guys that were in our little clique. And so we go to work okay, this is the first day. The first day we start, there's the four of us, and I got separated, and I went with this other crew. And so we go up, and we're in this fucking rich house in West Van, and they have a pool and everything. And the kid comes out. It's about 3 o'clock type thing. So we're kind of winding down a bit, and I think we ran out of paint or something. So we're starting to wind down, and my buddies were gonna come and pick me up. So as we're winding down, the kid came out, the owner of the house, and he's sitting by the pool, and he had some beers, and I said something like, "Oh, that'd go good on a hot day," or something. He goes, "You want one?" I'm like, "Sure." So he offers me a beer, and I take a beer, and this is my first day, mind you, and I'm probably 16 at the time. And so he goes, "Yeah, you want one?" I'm like, "Sure." So I grab a beer, and the other two foremen that were above me left. And then the kid had the stereo on, so I'm like, "Hey, I'll put this tape on." So I put on a Van Halen tape, and so my buddies, and this is about 3 o'clock. So now I've had about 3 beers by now. By the time they come and get me, about almost 5, and they're walking up the driveway all sweaty and just covered in paint and everything. And I'm lying on the pool deck with beers. I'm like, "Hey guys," and fucking they had food out for me. And this was the first day I went to work, so it's kind of funny. They just looked at me like, "What the fuck?" They'd worked all so hard, and I worked, till 3, and we ran out of paint. The rest of the guys left, and I had to wait till they showed up. So that was kind of funny. But then, so the next day we went to next week or whatever, we gotta get a different job, and we got his job with this, and it's on this old guy. This old guy had it, and he hired us, and we were walking down the street, and we had what's that? The War, the song "Low Rider" on an old ghetto blaster, just cranked So we were walking, and it just must have looked so funny. These fucking hippie, like, just scruffy looking teenagers in painting clothes walking with the ghetto blaster. And this is West Van back then. It was very pretentious, and weed wasn't legal at all. And we had to use a blowtorch on the house to try to help strip the paint. And so every fucking at the breaks, we would take the blowtorch and the putty knives, and we would hot knife hash with the putty knives. And so there's one day we're all just fried and we're kids, and we didn't, like, at that time I didn't give a fuck about painting. Now I'm a fucking true craftsman, and I actually really love my work, and I have a lot of fun doing it. But then I didn't give a shit, and it was just a job to get a paycheck and whatever. So we were painting this guy's house, and his house is white, but there's the trim paint is usually a gloss, like a semi-gloss or a fucking eggshell. It's got a gloss to it. And the siding paint is usually flat and just, a matte type of flat sheen. But we didn't know, and we didn't give a fuck. So half of the crew starts painting this house just in fucking semi-gloss. The other half is painted in flat, and we met in the middle, and it didn't look right. And this old guy just looks at us, and he goes, and this is his little saying. He goes, one boy does the work of one boy. And he goes, two boys does the work of half a boy. And he goes, three boys does the work of no boys. And there's four of you. Get off of my yard. Get out of here. And he fired us. Anyways, that was my introduction into the painting trades. But yeah, after a while, I actually started getting quite good at it, and I do it to this day. I do okay, and I love it. So, thanks. It's just a quick little video. It's been a while since I've chatted a story, so hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.